Hey folks, Jonathan here. Figured maybe we could try to do a first start on this thing today. It's kind of chilly out, but we can live with it. I wanted to show you a couple things. One thing is the tags. See, the center of them, it says 1975, but there's a 1977 sticker on the tag, and also the inspection sticker expires. Issued 1976, expires 1977. So that was the last time that this thing was on the road, was 1977. Now supposedly this thing was started and ran 20 years ago. Whether it did or not, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe, maybe not. Now, while I had it picked up, I drained the oil. I poured new oil in it because it was rough, but it's not so bad now. It's still got some stuff in the some little particles and stuff in the pan that I'm never going to get out, but unless I pull the pan. But we'll start it and see how it does, or try to start it and see how it does, and we'll go from there. And we have figured out that this is a 67 model 352, and that was the first year for this carburetor, 67, so it's the correct carburetor for the engine. So I think what happened was the engine must have went bad or blew up or something, and they swapped this engine into it, somewhere around, probably late 60s or something, but maybe early 70s. Okay, this battery box was laying in the back floorboard. That's something that they had repaired for it. I finally figured out how to bolt it on down there. So we're going to get two bolts and go ahead and try to get this bolted on. That way we'll have a place to set the battery at, where it's not going to fall out. We'll do that first. We've got to come up with a battery terminal. Oh, we'll probably clean this one. It's about had it, it is had it, but we'll do it anyway. And then we'll just jump the starter. We'll hot wire the coil. Sure, I'm going to have to pull the cap off and clean the points off. So we'll check them out here in a minute. Okay, we've got the box in. Find a battery and a terminal. Okay. Well, I don't have any more new battery terminals, so I didn't feel like looking for one, so I was just going to use vice grips. But when I went to hook it up, I don't know if you can hear that. I know the key's off because the key's not even in it, but we got something. We'll see if we can hunt that down, see what's going on. Oh, it's the radio or the clock. Never heard a clock that noisy. Let's see if we can unplug it here. Okay, I couldn't get the clock unplugged. I'm going to try again here in a minute, but it's still doing it every time I hook it up. That's alright. I don't think it's going to pull much power. So come out, pull the distributor cap off, look at the points. They white powdery really bad. So I'm going to pull the points out. And a lot of people ask me, hey, why do you pull the points out? Why don't you just file them? Mainly because my eyesight, I can't see them really well. I'd rather just pull them out. That way, believe it or not, I was a kid. I walked by a guy's shop, an elderly man, and I'm sure he's passed on years ago, but he was working on some lawnmowers in there, and of course I was interested in anything mechanical, so I struck up a conversation with him, and he went to grinding a set of points on a bench grinder, and I guess I was probably 12 years old or something, and anyway, so he basically taught me how to grind points on a bench grinder. And that's what I prefer to do, because I like to get a good surface back, just about like a new surface, any chance I can. So that's what I do. And believe it or not, Last night on eBay I was looking in the UK, of course, for some of the magnetos that I really trying to get for the bike, and I ran into a points grinder that's actually made for grinding points, and I've never seen one before, and I may end up buying it just for the heck of it, because I liked it. I liked the way it was set up. It's a neat little machine. So anyway, let me get these out and get them ground, and we'll go from there. Okay, maybe you can see that white powdery crap in there. Not too bad. They're not burnt up for sure, so we'll just get them cleaned up. Alright, so we got the points back in, and I figured I'd run through this for anybody that don't know, because you know, a lot of times I'll do a video and I won't think about the younger generation out there that, you know, may have not messed with points. I guess it's been a lot of years since points were used, so might as well show. But put your points in. You see you got lobes. There'll be 8 lobes on this one because it's a V8 engine, but you got lobes on your distributor, just like cam lobes. And you turn your engine until you get one of them lobes to be right on your contact of your points to open them up. And we'll do that off camera here because I can't hold the camera and use both hands. So. Okay, so we got it right on the lobe. So what we're going to do now is adjust these points. Now they put a little spot in here where you can turn it with a screwdriver and get it where you want it. Now what you want to do is tighten this screw down enough where there's enough resistance on it, so wherever you move it at, it's going to stay, because these points are spring loaded. And these points are this is nothing but a switch. When these points close, it just completes the circuit. That's all it does. So it's a switch that turns on and off. So we'll open it up, and you can use a matchbook, filler's gauges like you're supposed to, or you can do it by eye like I do. I've done it for years, so you kind of get used to it. Of course, my eyes ain't getting as good as they used to be, so a little tougher. You got to watch when you tighten them down, because a lot of times they'll either close or open. Usually close. So that looks good. The other thing I noticed when I was working on the other side, let me go back around. Okay, something I noticed is there's no nuts on this coil, and so there's a coil that was laying in the trunk. So I'm wondering if, you know, maybe somebody was trying to start it and couldn't get it to fire. But I'm sitting there looking at it. Normally you have a plus and a minus on a coil, and your plus will go to your power side, which will come from your key switch, and your minus will go to your distributor. And just one wire, single wire right here, and it comes in, and when it grounds, it completes the circuit. So the thing is this Ford says distributor and battery, but if you look, the battery side is actually hooked to the distributor, and the distributor side is coming from the power wire. So somebody has actually got this hooked up backwards. And you can see it's rusty. I haven't pulled these off at all. They're on there too. So we'll have to try to find some nuts, and might just grab a different coil and lay it on the manifold there. All we have to do is hook up this wire, our center coil wire, and then run one power from we run it from our solenoid there. So we'll probably just find another coil to put right here. It'll be a little easier, and then I don't have to worry about whether that one's good or not. And we got to put a rotor button on. Don't want to forget that. That just turns and points to which plug it's firing. And make sure your wires are all clear. And put your cap back on. Check your cap. A lot of times on a cap, your center will burn out. This is like a carbon piece in the center, and you don't want it to burn out. Sometimes they're spring loaded, sometimes this is spring loaded. So they go both ways. And then if you get a crack in your distributor cap, which is usually kind of hard to see, but if you see them, you know, a spark will follow the cap. So this is the simplest setup. I know a lot of people think points are complicated and they like electronic ignition, but you know, there's so much you can do with points, because if you break down alongside the road, you know, something goes out or something, you can fix it real easy. And I mean, there's nothing to them. They're really simple. I mean, you know, definitely not anything for anybody to be scared of. And some of us actually liked when things were mechanical and you could take them apart. You know, torque converters used to be rebuildable. Fuel pumps used to be rebuildable. Now it's just everything's stowaway. So, all right, let me see if I can hunt up a coil. All right, let me see if I can find another coil that was laying in here. Yeah, no nuts, nothing on it. Also found another distributor cap and another another condenser and plug wires. And that could have been points. Yeah, there's another set of points. Yep, I wonder if they ever got it started. I don't think they did, according to the wires on the coil. Show you something else I found. You know, I got that big bar that goes in here. The big bar goes in here. I got the Galaxy, no, the Fairlane that goes across the back. And I found the O and the 5 for the 500, but I couldn't find the other O, and then I realized that the other O is actually where the lock's at. So, besides hubcaps, we're not missing anything on this car. Not a thing that I know of. Pretty nice. Alright. We gotta come up with a coil somewhere. Okay, I figured we'd just try this coil here for the heck of it. See what happens. I don't see it. I didn't really hear anything. Nope. Not a thing. Show you another way you can check them. Pull the cap back off. Now this was the coil that was laying in the back. You can short between your points. Just right here and here. Oh, we're getting something there. Orange. She should be fine. Well, I got my gap way too big. Must not have been right on the lobe. Let me re-gap my points here. Okay, we closed our points up a little bit. See what we get now. There we go, we got it. Alright, it's orange. We're going to try it, even though I don't like it. Rather have a good blue spark. We'll just see what happens though. Alright. Okay, here's something I don't suggest anybody doing. West Virginia credit card. I learned how to siphon when I was probably 5 or 6 years old. We used to take a bath in the creek and we'd build a dam and we'd take whole garden hose, pieces of garden hose, and do a spillover over the dam so it wouldn't wash the dam out. So we'd usually have 3 or 4 hoses running. But my brother taught me when I was very young, but it's not a good thing to do with gasoline. You get yourself killed if you ain't careful. Alright, see what happens here. We'll pour a little bit in the carburetor and just see what goes down. Alright, here's the other thing I get complained about, or people get mad at me about. Pouring gas in the carburetor while it's trying to turn over and stuff. If you're scared to do it, don't do it. Don't bother me. I don't mind it. I've had them backfire plenty of times. You lose a little hair and you're done, so not a big deal. Needed a haircut anyway, or shave. Well, she tried to start there. I heard the lifter clacking. get her idled up just a little bit. See if we can get her on fast idle there. Alright, I think we're going to plumb some gas into the carburetor. I've got a tank. We'll see if it'll, maybe it'll run. Alright, you gotta love how fuel lines come off after 20-30 years. They just break apart. Really hate running through that filter, but I don't have another filter, so I don't really have much of a choice. We're not running through this filter, of course. This is the tank I used on the motorhome. Snapper tank. So, get it on. I'm going to go change batteries because this battery is just about dead. For some reason, this cold weather is really bad on the batteries. But we'll put some gas in it and hopefully the float don't stick, and I don't know, maybe we'll get lucky. We'll see what happens here. I could see what's in this filter. Maybe see if there was any gas in this one. Should be able to bring it off here and probably just break that line. Yeah, because that line's so bad. Yeah, we're not getting anything out of it. Well, get the clamp off of it. So we can blow through it. Yep, open and clear. So I don't know. Maybe there wasn't no fuel in the system. Maybe the carburetor won't be dirty. So we'll see. Alright, this battery of course wasn't completely charged. I'd hate to miss this because then I'd have to wait another 20 years before I could do the video again. Alright, let me pour some gas in the tank and go from there. Let me make sure that I've got this thing in park also. And I do. If we can get it to run long enough, we might get in it and see if it'll try to move. 3 flat tires, 3.5 flat tires. Where's my gas? Thing even sounds like Christine. No smoke at all. Hear them lifters tapping. That don't help. Shut it off with another wire on there. Rat's done tore it, chewed it in two. This one looks like it's about torn. Yeah, it'll be alright. Seen a guy use barbed wire for wiring on a rat rod one time. So, alright, let me get that other wire on. Alright, plug wires on. Let's try it again. See if we can get the idle a little bit better, and then we might get in it and see if it'll move. alive, it's alive. Of course, I'm like Christine. I don't know how it's going to sound on camera. Definitely hear the lifter tapping. But that may clear up. The engine needs a good flushing. Alright, let's go to reverse. Oops, died on. Try her again. It's a whole lot better if I just know it tried to move. We're going straight on down into forward gear this time. Yep, I can feel it. Oh, you see speedometer there. Yeah, he actually spun a little bit on the back right. Good news, huh? Can't get enough gas. The carburetor needs refill. Well, she's trying to move. I'm happy with that. And I know I've got no water in it. But it's so cold out that it hadn't even transferred heat through anything yet. I'm not worried about that. That's another thing I get all the time. No water. See the holes in the exhaust pipe right down there. This thing was a factory door exhaust also, and it's still on it, but I don't think any of it's coming out of the back. Might be. Yeah. I think you can see it's about rusted. This thing ain't smoked a bit. I think it'll be okay. Just get a good flush. Probably pull the valve covers in the oil pan and clean everything out. I have a feeling it's going to be flushed up. I think it'll work out though. Alright, well, now, I told everybody I had no plans to do anything on this thing. So, the first start is done. So, I've had some second thoughts on it, but I don't know. It depends on if I got any serious buyers or not. I priced all the brake system. And when I say all the brake system, I mean I priced everything except for the actual hard lines on the frame. That includes master cylinder, wheel cylinders, brake shoes, rubber lines, everything. And if you go through Rock Auto, you really don't spend much money. A couple $100, you can redo the whole entire brake system. There is no gas tank on this thing. There was a gas tank down there. I forgot to get it. It was laying on a trailer beside the car. The guy had pulled it off. But I do have the straps and the bolts and everything. But a new gas tank's, you know, $160. So I wouldn't even attempt to mess with it. I'll get another tank. And if I decide to do anything with it. And then let me see, you know, clean the engine, get it all ready and rolling, do some wiring work, of course, you know, that's on everything old. And set of tires, buy a set of 14s off of eBay for about $250 for 4 of them. And clean the rims up and put them on. And I even found a set of hubcaps if I decide to go back, and that would put that car basically completely original except for the collar, you know, the paint and stuff. But I don't think, of all the cars I've had, I think this would be one of the cheaper restorations if somebody wanted to go back completely original with it. And the reason I say that is just about everything on it is either aluminum or stainless. Now this panel here is pitted, and that above it, the Thunderbird looking emblem is pitted a little bit, but everything else, you know, is pretty much stainless. And you know, there's no, you know, if it's stainless or aluminum, you can polish it. You know, you can get the little dings and dents out and polish everything. So and this thing needs no floor work whatsoever and no trunk work whatsoever. So just what body, you know, you see is what's bad. There's another bad spot that I don't think I showed everybody right here, which is probably going to be one of the worst spots because it's dented. Old lady Anderson backed into a, let me see, what was that? It hit over here too. I think it was the tailgate of a pickup truck that was loaded and sitting low. And back in, let me see. Yeah, it happened back in about 1975. So, anyway, I do have the other tail light. I don't have these lights, but they're available. And they're, believe it or not, they're actually cheap. I was surprised to see the price of the parts for this thing. They're not as bad as I thought they were going to be, because most Fords are really high, but they must fix quite a few of these up because the price is not that bad. I see another crack I didn't know about right here in the window. It's double pane, so it's on the inside. But, you know, I think it should be a driver anyway. You know, it's a non-original engine. I don't know about the transmission, have no clue. But like I said, it's a 67 352, and don't know the horsepower. Have no clue. Now this did have a 352 originally, and it should have been the 300 horsepower. And it's my understanding that, and don't quote me on this, that this looks like the Thunderbird emblem, and if it had the Thunderbird engine, it had this emblem. So that was my understanding. So, anyway, could get it together and leave it like it is, and just tell everybody it's Christine's sister, stepsister. But all right, I appreciate everybody watching, and I didn't catch myself on fire. And yeah, the belt was coming apart on it, but I didn't get hit by nothing and killed. I'm still alive. I think people worry a little too much, but all right, appreciate it. Bye.